Hey guys, so here we are, the first day of fall, the official first day of fall. I actually videoed our garden tour that you're going to see here in just a minute yesterday, and I did my opening scene like this and totally messed it up. So I thought, okay, I'll come out here and redo it today. However, it's raining today. Today's high here is only supposed to be 64. Welcome to the first day of fall. Oh wait, we're in Missouri. That means that tomorrow we'll be back in the 80s. Saturday we're going to be in the 90s, and then we should be in the 80s the rest of the next week. So still basically summer-like temperatures. But I almost didn't do this mid-garden tour, especially because now I am 5 days later than what I would have normally done it. However, I decided to go ahead and do it because in the next couple of weeks, especially since we are on the first day of fall, a lot's probably going to change. So here is the mid-September garden tour. And if you notice my voice crackling and all that, I actually have been still fighting off the cold that I had at the beginning of September. And I went to the doctor, and yeah, it was kind of pointless. Basically, I got put on some medicine that may or may not work. It'll probably take a week or two to work, and if it doesn't, then I have to go see an ENT. So wish me luck. That's way more than you needed to know. And here is the mid-month tour. Happy first day of spring. Happy first day of fall. Okay, we're starting over here where the mishmash of things got put. Hey, there's some garden shears right there. Maybe those are mishmash put in place too. So we have a little bit of parsley left over. The rosemary that I grew over the winter or this last spring didn't do anything. We had cilantro in here. It bolted and went to seed. These are Cayenne Peppers, and once our temperatures came down out of the 100+ degrees during the day and 80s for the evening, all of my pepper plants have been doing really well. So these are the Cayenne Peppers. I actually have some I need to pick that are red. They're ready to be picked. You can pick them green, but most people pick them when they are red. But I mean, I have a pepper here and here and here and here and there and there and there. I have a little one right here. So doing phenomenal. The fennel went to seed long time ago. My straw flowers, they kind of come and go and wane and wax and come and go. And yeah, right now they are here and they are beautiful. And listen, so cool. Okay, I do have rosemary right there, and I cut a bunch of sprigs off of it, and I put them in some water, and as you can see, they have roots. So now I am going to transplant them into a pot, because rosemary is supposed to be a perennial, and I should have, hopefully, a larger batch of rosemary next year if I can overwinter it. This bed is empty other than a few weeds that have kind of made their way back into it. I have added a bunch of soil, basically just out of pots that I have emptied, mainly because I needed somewhere to go with the soil, and why not throw it in the bed? It does actually need a couple more inches of soil. I plan on doing that here in the next couple of weeks. I've done a little bit of research on how I want to put my garden to bed, and I have two ways. Some of it is going to be leaf mulch, and the other part is going to be some ground cover. I've got the seeds in the house that I can show you, but it's going to basically be an annual grass of type, and it's going to put some nutrients back in the soil and basically put a cover on it so that'll be a lot like mulch. The flowers right there, they're still getting watered, so they're still producing, but they just don't look the best. My 5 tomato plants right here have all fallen down. But actually, the cherry tomato, and I believe there's a blueberry tomato here also, are still putting on tomatoes like crazy. I mean, look at these. The other tomatoes, there was aroma and
don't remember the other two. I'd have to go back and look at my notes. They never really did much of anything anyway, so they're not doing anything. But we've had warm weather, and as you notice, we've still got flowers. So there's a potential that we might get some. Actually, there's aroma over there, aroma tomato on that plant. So I don't know. Once we finally came down out of the hundreds, we've basically been like 80s mostly. Some of the 80s have been upper 80s, some have been lower 80s, but it's kind of been a good mix. And nights have been anywhere from, we bottomed out at 47 degrees about a week and a half ago. Mostly we've been sitting around the 60 degree mark. That is Fahrenheit. I'm sorry, my voice. I swear, whatever I got at the end of August has been killing me. And honestly, I tested negative for COVID, so I don't know what I had. My basil here has all basically bolted, but I've left it in the ground for a couple of reasons. One of which, it's a good companion plant for your tomatoes to try and help keep pests away, so I figured, I'll just go ahead and leave it in. Two, it's a little bit of ground cover. I have a lot of weeds in there, yes, but not as many as I could have. I do still have some pepper plants in there. There's one right there and one over here, and I've done a lot of research on overwintering pepper plants, and they may, depending on what kind of shape they are when I find them, they may go ahead and make the cut, and I may overwinter them. I have two different ways I'm going to overwinter, so I'll do a video on that very soon. These were flowers, and they're just not doing anything. Nothing spectacular. I don't know. Nothing spectacular. The onions, from what I didn't pick, went ahead and decided to start onioning again. Also in this container here. So I just left them to see what happens. The marigolds are doing so-so. I've got some that aren't doing good at all. I've got some that are doing great. And this stupid gourd and I are going to get into a fight again because it killed out my tomatillos, and it killed out my cucumbers, and it killed out my yellow crookneck squash, and it's going after my stuff again. So I am ready to rip that sucker out. They're just birdhouse gourds. You can't even eat them, and it's really upsetting me. So that sucker is going bye-bye, especially because it's also trying to take over my pepper plant over there. It is trying to take over my strawberries. It's trying to take over my eggplant. We are gonna have words. But the thing is, it has powdery mildew. And part of me doesn't care because I think, oh, well, screw that, it'll kill it, and then I don't have to worry about it. But the thing is, I don't want the powdery mildew to stay in my garden. That's something I have to work on and get that sucker out of here. And it's not going into compost because it's got powdery mildew. It's going to be burned, and I'm not sorry at all. Okay, this was potatoes. I've still apparently missed some little potatoes, but otherwise, there is nothing in this bed. This side of the bed was planted to onions. They were picked a long time ago. This side of the bed's been nothing for a while. It's got two weeds in there that I need to get out, and a nasturtium. And otherwise, looks like I've got some onions that I didn't pick because they got hidden by the nasturtium. Otherwise, it's just there. These are peppers, and actually, they're doing something again. This is the Purple Beauty pepper, and these pepper plants have produced all summer long, but I mean, we're only talking fruit about that big, and I think it's supposed to be bigger than that. So why they're not getting big probably has to do with the heat, mainly. It looks like I got a potato left over from last year, because this was a potato bed last year. This is potatoes. Now the thing about this whole bed, my mother-in-law has been helping me dig potatoes, and she's used my potato fork there and dug, but we haven't dug deep, like, you know, getting in there with your hands and digging to see what you find. We haven't done that yet. And so I think there's still potatoes, and probably because it's been hot and cold and hot and cold, and the fact that my potatoes were left in the ground for so long, they're starting to potato again. So you can, there's a study that says you can overwinter potatoes in the ground. I may just leave whatever is green now in the ground, see what happens next year. I don't know. I haven't decided yet, because that really wasn't quite part of the study. So, you know. And the other part of the problem with the powdery mildew over there is the fact that I still have vining plants here, and I don't want the powdery mildew on here. This side is not really doing anything. This side is not really doing anything. It is just here, mainly. There are flowers you can see, but it's not doing anything. The other side actually is doing something. This is Huckleberry. These got attacked by the bugs. It basically ate everything, including the berries, off, and now it is reberrying. So I don't know. I probably won't get enough to do much of anything with it, but I have been weeding. You can tell on this side of the garden, I have been weeding. But I also haven't been weeding, as you can tell by that side of the garden. So it's kind of hit and miss, and we're just taking it one day at a time. That all right there is going bye-bye. I'm over it. I'm done with it. It can go away. I have no use for it. We'll never plant it again. I'm throwing the seeds away. Oh, I said this didn't do anything on this side, but there is a cantaloupe right there. And I do have flowers, so we'll see. This one is vining out, and it's starting to take over, but it never went high. It sprawled. So, I don't know. Trying not to step on it. Okay. Down over there were my tomatillos. The stupid gourd ate the tomatillos. No tomatillos. The weeds have basically eaten right here. So, this bed and this bed, where most of the weeds are, one was planted to the yellowneck squash. The other one was planted to the cucumbers. I really think this one was the cucumbers and that was the squash. The stupid gourd killed them a long time ago. We're not happy with that gourd. This is eggplant, and it tried to kill out the eggplant. And I've read, like I've mentioned before, that eggplant is very, you have to be, you know, perfect conditions, and it likes the hot weather, and it doesn't like, you know, whatever. And I didn't think I was going to get eggplants. And then, look, I have a baby eggplant. Look, I have eggplants over there. So, I don't know. I don't know. We're taking it as it comes. That down there was Poblano Peppers. I see a pepper on the plant, too. I am going to overwinter at least 2 of those plants down there, because I am out of Poblano pepper seeds in the first place. I mean, I could buy more, yes, but I'm going to try and overwinter them and see if I can bring them back next spring. But also, they've had their fair share of weeds and butthole there. There was nothing there. That's why the weeds have taken over. We do have peppers here, but I don't remember. Oh, these were bell peppers. They never produced anything, but they're still there. I may try and overwinter a bell pepper. I haven't decided which peppers I'm going to try yet. Right now, I have 10 containers, and I am going to do 5 of one variety in one place, 5 of variety in another place. It'll be interesting to see, A, I'm just doing an experiment, and B, if they actually make it or not. These were the mystery seeds. They were eggplants also. They're producing eggplants. I can't see any right now. I really do. I need to get out here and weed. I know. The Swiss chard has gone crazy. It's to the point I need to cut it back and see if it'll go again. because this is all going to be so bitter that it won't be any good. These are Anaheim peppers, and I actually have some Anaheim peppers on there, which is really fun and exciting. These onions all decided to re-onion, so I left them for that reason. These were those bunching onions that did their thing, so I left them. These are the Thai chili hot peppers, and I have harvested a bunch of them. I really think I'm supposed to let them turn red, but I've been pulling them green simply because I don't want them to go bad. I got my lawnmower out and mowed the lawn and the weeds yesterday because I was so fed up with it. These peppers are the giant Marconi. This one didn't even make it, so we can pull him. He won't. See? I pull weeds. Proof right there. I do have two. I probably am going to save these two. I don't know, we'll see. That was flowers. They didn't do so hot. This was a mishmash of all different types of flowers. My zinnias are still producing, and they're still beautiful. I did lose some zinnias. It happens, unfortunately. These are my zucchini, and these guys have been going bonkers. Like, there's a bunch right there. Can't tell you how many we've had. I've had to pull at least one plant. There's one over there. These plants don't look the best. They have had bugs on them, and I've gone through and I've killed bugs. And like I said, I had to pull a plant or two. I can't remember. But these guys are still marching on, and I'm still fighting bugs on them. We've got gorgeous flowers right there. My jalapeno peppers, this one here kind of got taken over by the zucchini, but these guys are actually starting to put jalapenos back on. I kind of want to do what I did last year, although better. Last year I planted 17 jalapeno pepper plants. I wish I still had that many planted. I don't this year. Next year I'll probably have more. My tomatoes here, not so good, really need to be torn out. In fact, I don't really, what tomatoes there are have been eaten. What tomatoes there aren't have been eaten. Yeah. I do have blueberries. I can see blueberry for sure right there. So anyway, nothing's really red. We have been watching it, but nothing makes it to the red stage because it gets eaten before that happens. I actually am putting on green beans. Like, I thought these green bean plants were done for, and they're actually putting on green beans. So that's fun and exciting. I don't think I'll get a very big crop, but I'm still getting something. So, way cool. I think that's a weed, not green beans. Yeah, that's a weed. That's a weed. But I do have a green bean plant there, 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 and there. And this whole thing was planted to green beans. So why I only got so few, I don't know. But I have a lot of flowers, so it makes me hopeful, especially if I would get in here and weed. But if you look, of course, this is a cherry tomato, and my cherry tomatoes are really the only tomatoes that have been doing very well, with the blueberry in a close second. So I don't know. I'm not giving up hope just yet. These are Lizianthus, and I had some come up and some not, and you know, I don't remember what was back in that pot. I don't remember it all, but it didn't make it a long time ago. So these are the Poblano Peppers from a different angle, and oh, there it is. There's a Poblano. So it's strange. These guys have been hit so hard, and yet they're still fighting. My strawberry bed, I'm not even sure if there's strawberries still in there or not. That stupid thing is going away. Okay, I'll quit focusing on that. These are my Habanero Peppers, and they are finally putting on peppers. I finally see an orange one. I had not seen an orange one until today. Like, I've been checking them almost daily, and so far they've been green. And you're supposed to harvest them when they are orange. So I've just been letting them sit there and hoping. Oh my gosh, look at this Lizianthus. How gorgeous is that? I'm gonna pick it. Oh, I say I am. There we go. No reason not to. Gorgeous. There's a spider on it, but I think it's a dead spider. There's more Lizianthus in there. The marigolds. Those are cosmos. And that finishes up this bed. Okay, so I came in here and I mowed this also. Got tangled up a little bit in my drip line from last year. Oh, that truck was loud. I got tangled up a little bit in my drip line from last year. I'm going to come in with tarps. I'm going to tarp off all of this and really kill those weeds out. Make it a point to get my walkways done and make this a usable garden next year. It'll probably be a little more traditional, whereas the other one's raised bed. So there's obviously these tomatoes. They didn't stand a chance from day one. But actually, oh wow, look at those blueberry tomatoes in there. I don't know if I can't get the camera to focus on them. There they are. So pretty. I need to get out here and pick them because they look gorgeous. And I mean, there's a bunch of them. I planted over here, I think there were 14 or 12 or 14 blueberry tomato plants. So they're, like I said, those and the cherry tomatoes really have been the big producers this year. Nothing else has really held up their weight. Oh, I've got some green tomatoes right there. They might go ahead and do something. I don't know. We'll have to just wait and see. So I don't know. These tomatoes were kind of a lost cause from the beginning, and it's my fault. So there we have it. We have the last day of summer garden tour, last official day. I'll be back here in like 10 days with another garden update, and it'll probably look different. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you come back. These are gorgeous. And if you can't tell, I am sweating. Maybe you can't even see my face because I'm backlit by the sun. We'll see. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this garden tour. I hope that you come back and check out the next one. If you want, see everything from earlier this year. Also, give me a thumbs up. Say hi. Give me a comment and say hi. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Tell me you hate my weeds. It's okay. I do too. Tell me how to fight off all these stupid bugs. You can tell me. It's okay. I like tips. I like when we help each other out. And subscribe, like, share, whatever. Just come back, see me, tell me hi. Okay, bye. So I got all the way up to the house and realized I didn't show this side where I have a cantaloupe and a cantaloupe and a watermelon and a cantaloupe all just hanging out. Okay, that's all I wanted. Bye.